Hello, world. Brian here for part 7 in my series of addiction and what can happen. And just my story. I can't really speak for anybody else, but I can definitely tell what happened to me with my voice and my story. And we're going to continue on with that today. When I left last time, I'd made the decision that I was going to go to a 28-day treatment facility, and I was in the process of going through yet again another medical detox at CAMC. I started out at Tays Valley CAMC, but they quickly moved me to CAMC General downtown in Charleston because they said they have more experience with dealing with that. But what that really meant was is they had a psych facility and they had treatment. They had people there that specialized in addiction treatment and alcoholism and all that stuff. So I went down there and I spent a week. I was supposed to be there for 10 days. But after 7 days, they were like, hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to release you today, and then you have to go straight to treatment. And they were actually supposed to have a vehicle come and pick me up, but they had talked to Chastity. And they told me on the phone, they were like, now, normally we don't let people just drive up here, but we talked to her and she assured us that you're going to be here. So we expect to see you. And man, they did. They followed up. They made sure I was there. They did all the right things that they need to do. I mean, I was getting cold feet and I was in a hospital. They had a captive audience. And all I could do was just, go online and look and see. And what I did notice when I was looking and trying to find out what to expect is there's no information on it. And what I found out going through it is that it is different, very much based on the people that are running the individual treatment centers as to what kind of treatment you'll get, sometimes even if any. But in general, if you do have a chance to do some research, it could behoove you to do that. But if you're like me, or pretty much everybody that I ran into on any of the 3 times I went to treatment, you're being told to go there, probably, state of West Virginia or the United States sometimes, but a lot of times it's family and friends that have just said enough, it's enough, you're doing this. But really, it comes down to it being your choice. And this time, I was ready, all right? So I was released from the hospital. They came and they told me that they were going to send me down there. And I had already been there for a week and I was having issues. Like I'd blown almost all the veins in my arms and stuff because I kept tearing the IVs out. Not like on purpose, just whenever I would go to sleep, I'd start thrashing around. And it, I was like, I just know had bruises from head to toe. Matter of fact, when I got to treatment, that's what the first person I ran into, like, kind of tapped me on the shoulder and turned around and they're like, hey, drugs or alcohol? And I was like, what? And they're like, oh, we like to take bets on what people are here for. And I was like, well, what do you think? And he looked at my arms. They were like, drugs. And I was like, no, asshole, alcohol. I just got out of the hospital. But I don't know. I was just trying to hold on to something. I was like, no, 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 I'm better than, I don't know. Anyway, so Chas did make sure that I got up there. I got out of the hospital. I got a bite to eat. I got a shower, which was good because I hadn't had a shower in like 4 days. I was in a room, sharing a room, not out of a bed. And we began the trip up, and that was the longest trip from Charleston to Parkersburg I ever took in my life. It felt like it stretched on for forever. And then when I got there, we said our goodbyes, and I had my suitcase with me, and they said, Mr. Nagy, come with us. They're very polite and professional, and they take you back. And this is the part where I kind of had like some reinforcement on. I was beginning to be like, why would I volunteer myself to go to rehab? Isn't that sort of like volunteering myself to go to jail? I mean, the state didn't tell me I have to go, and I'm just deciding. And man, I almost backed out, and I'm glad that I didn't because that first time started something in me that I didn't know that I needed. Uh, it really just kind of gave me an experience with seeing people, loving each other. And the state of mind I was in, I was able to actually pay attention to it and take that in and be like, oh, yeah, this is what life's really supposed to be about. It's about loving people. Anyway, I didn't get to that overnight, and I didn't even get to it when I got there. So the intake procedure is as such. I would assume any reputable place would do this because you have to keep in mind, even though I'm there for alcohol, I'm not exactly going to be smuggling a handle of vodka in my person. A lot of people are there for drugs, and it is easier for those things to get smuggled in. So they go through all your stuff. Your clothes are taken and they are washed and dried again and refolded and returned to you, which seems kind of nice, but for me, I didn't know what was going on. So they take you in and they give you a breathalyzer. Then they take you over for your first monitored drug test. It was first monitored drug test for me. I mean, I'd taken them before, but not with the guy standing there making sure that it's me peeing in a cup, which wasn't even the weirdest part of it, because then the weirdest part was go ahead and take all your clothes off, hand us your shoes, and take your insoles out of your shoes, and we'll give you your shoes back and your socks back after we look at those, and that's it. Because now we're going to put you in some scrubs and we're going to take this stuff and we will return to you what is safe for you to have while you're here. And like I said, it just triggered something in me where I was like, oh God, I really am going to jail, and it was just some kind of finality. And it didn't help when, then they're also like, and, turn around, squat, lift your business, cough 3 times. Let's make sure there ain't nothing else going on. And then they take you in. They brought me down. Like I said, I could ask questions, is what I should have done, is just ask, like, what's going on? Because then they took me down and they put me in a house, like a whole house by myself. And it was actually really nice. Like, there were snacks and everything. And I was just sort of, uh, so I'm sitting there in the house and I'm wondering where everybody else is. And they did mention to me, hey, we'll be back with some food. And somebody came back, they gave me some food. And then I'm sitting there and I'm starting to wonder am I gonna get my clothes back? Do I have to like earn the privilege of having my clothes back? And then somebody came in and they explained to me what was going on. And it was basically, hey, we just got to make sure everything's good. They returned all my stuff to me. Uh, like I said, clothes washed, folded, even though they didn't need it, and I was good to go. I will go into some more of this next video, but I've already gone on for way too long. If any of this stuff's interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Check out my blog over at noggy.org and take care of each other. And I do want to leave you, though, with this is my intake photo of when I did arrive up. And this was after being in the hospital for a week. This is how I looked. I thought I looked all right. So that was me getting ready for my saddest shift ever at Walgreens. But I made it. I made it, y'all. And we're going to make it too. And I love you. Take care of each other.